Hi everyone, welcome to Relatively Refined. My name is Patty. In today's video, we are going to spend the day doing all kinds of things. We've got some apple picking to do. I want to dry some apples. I want to do a craft project, and I need to do some work out here in the yard. So I hope you'll join me today. We have a lot on tap. Let's get started. All right, let's get our apples sliced and cored to make our dried apple rings. I have my apple peeler, slicer, core mechanism. I'll link this in the description box. I've had this forever, but I know you can get them Vermont Country Store, Amazon, and I have fresh picked Max right off the tree. So these are going to need to be washed. They have all kinds of residue on them. And I did notice this year they're a little bit softer than usual. I think maybe because of our warm temps this year. I'm not sure. So I'm going to wash, I'm going to start with about 6 apples and get them going. And then I'm going to mix them with a little bit of lemon juice and some cinnamon and then get them into my dehydrator. Now I like apple rings that are a little bit chewy and thicker. And I'm going to have to probably come to terms with the fact that the homemade ones are not going to be quite like the store-bought ones. So they might be a little more leathery, which is why I'm thinking of maybe making them thicker and dehydrating them for a little less time. Of course, that will decrease their shelf life. So I need to play around a little bit. So for now, I'm going to go ahead and wash and dry about 6 apples. Now, if you don't have one of these, you could get one of these, which is just a straight up apple corer, and you're just going to want to peel your apples and core them with this and then slice them manually. And I may end up doing that so I can get some thicker slices. So let me get these washed and let's get our apples sliced up. Okay, I have my apples. I have a little container to put the peels, cores in, which you can actually save to make a simmer pot. And then I have a bowl for the actual apple rings. Okay, I have sliced these apples and I have just put some cinnamon in there and I'm just separating them because if you use that machine, they come in like accordion style. So I just want to separate them. And that's really easy to do. I am using, for the first time, my food dehydrator. London Sunshine very generously gave both Paula and I a food dehydrator to try. And I've been wanting to do apple rings in mine because I love dried apples. And these are also just a great snack that I can share with the college kids. Just a really fun snack. And my oldest son loves chewy things, so I'm hoping he'll like this. All right, so I think we're good. Now, it came with these trays, and the idea is to put these apple rings on the tray. Let me move over. On the trays with plenty of space for the air to circulate around them. So I'm just going to go ahead and put these on the tray, and I'm going to go load them into the dehydrator. So it looks like I can get about a dozen slices on a rack. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and load these up. Now, in addition to the apple rings for eating, I'm going to slice some with the skin on and the core in to make dried apple rings for decor, for potpourri, maybe to make some kind of a wreath, maybe just to hang up. So in that case, I am just going to take I'm choosing a pretty red apple here, and I am literally just cutting it into thin slices. Now this will go in for longer than the rings because I want it to look, I want it to be very dried. I don't want any chance of mold. Nobody's going to be consuming these. This is what I'm looking for, the star shape. See that? That's what I'm looking for. So I'm going to slice some more of these thin with the skin on, and these I'll be able to string. I'll put some, put them around my house with in some potpourri, and I think they're just so pretty. So these will go probably for considerably longer than the edible rings. So here is this gorgeous dehydrator. Has a nice magnetic door, easy to open. And then in here I have the racks. I have the ones that are more for decorative on the bottom. And then I have 3 racks of the food grade ones. So they're all nicely tucked in here. I do have a little cookbook, and according to the cookbook, it should be at about, well, let me look again. I can never remember. 135 to 145 for 6 to 7 hours. It also came with these mesh trays and a fruit leather tray. So lots of cool things. 135 to 145 to 6 to 7 hours. I'm going on the low end for both. So I'm going to go 135 for 6 hours. Time, we're going to go 6 hours. And let's start. It's not very loud, so let's hope for the best. Okay, so here is the dehydrator. Here are the racks of apples. I think this is so nice. And I realize that you see how those flash, that really isn't happening in real life. That's just an effect, I think, of the LED display. So I'm super excited. Hopefully we'll have some apple ring snacks and some dried apples for decoration. Okay, I pulled these out and at just about 5 hours. And because I don't want them to get too crispy, so I'm going to pull them off. And they have some nice flexibility to them. They're a little soft. I just did not want them to get crunchy. So I'm going to grab these and put them in a bag to have as a snack. I'll try one. Oh, these are so good. Oh my goodness, these are delicious. So I would probably, next batch, I'm gonna make a little thicker. These are super thin and they get a little bit crispy around the edges. The cinnamon is so good on these. They don't stick at all to the tray, which is awesome. But you can see they're thin, and I like a little thicker and chewier. So I think I might hand cut my next batch, maybe a 1/4 inch or 1/3 of an inch thick. Here's the cinnamon. I was thinking about adding some more, but I don't think I'm going to. I'm gonna go ahead and put these in a bag. They are so good. Okay, so it's been about 6 hours with the ones with skins. So these are going to be the ones I'm going to use for decor, for, oh, maybe some potpourri, maybe to string together with some twine. Aren't they pretty? It's hard to tell. So pretty. So let's see what we've got. Pull this out. Okay. Let's pull it out. Let's see what we've got. I love the skin on. I love the seeds. I love everything about the way these look. Look how cool this one looks. So I am very happy with this. It performed beautifully and super easy to use. It's very clean, nice looking design, beautiful door. The racks are gorgeous. Comes with a manual and a cookbook. And I think this is a great addition to my kitchen appliances. I'm going to leave a link to this. And if we do have one, I will leave a discount code. I'm not sure if we have one available, but if we do, it'll be in the description box along with the link to this product. Okay, well, it's the next morning, and these are the rings to eat. I'm just going to put those aside. And these are the decorative rings, and I'll let them out to dry. They are very dry, so there is no moisture in these. And I'm going to play around. I have them on a paper plate because I want to add some scent and some cinnamon sticks. I have an Apple Harvest scented oil. It's a candle oil. And then this was the refresher oil that we sold on our shop. This is the honey spiced pear. So I thought I would sort of scent these up with some cinnamon sticks. And then I'm going to decide if I want to put them in this little brown transferware dish, which I thrifted, or this compote that I got at an antique store that I need to polish. So I'm going to polish that right now, but I just wanted to show you what I'm thinking. So I'm going to go ahead and add some scent to these and play around with where to display them. If I put them in this compote, I think it would be pretty to have a nice little bow on the stem, maybe like a brown and white one, or maybe even an orange and white gingham bow would be so cute. And I do love this transferware dish. It's just a one-off that I thrifted. Let's see if I can get the back. See the back stamp here. It's a Staffordshire. So it's made in England. I just love this one. So those are some options, and I think this will make a nice little potpourri. I also, in addition to the cinnamon sticks, I know I have some very small pine cones. I just don't know where they are. So those may have to wait. And I was like, oh, I wish I had some acorns. So I don't know. We don't have many oak trees here, so we don't have many acorns. I also have some rosemary in my garden, which I could put in there for a little bit of something. We'll see. So right now I'm going to get going on polishing this dish, adding some scent to these, and I'll show you what I come up with. And I'm going to take some of this Apple Harvest oil. Let me go get a dropper. Oh, that's a lot. Just going to add that to it. Okay. Oh, that smells so good. And maybe some of this. I just realized I should have grabbed some of these. Oops. And then I have these cinnamon sticks. I'm going to just kind of put here. So this is what I'm working with. Right? And I'm going to try them in both of these and see which one I like better. I mentioned that I would like to put a bow around this one, and I'll show you. My husband came home with these gorgeous flowers for me, snapdragons and zinnias and all these beautiful fall colors, hydrangea, and it had this pretty fall ribbon right here, this pretty plaid, if you can see that. pretty plaid ribbon. So I'm thinking that could work on that. Obviously when my flowers are done, because I love them so much, I'm going to leave them as is. So that is one of the options. Kind of like toss them. And the smell is divine. So isn't that cute? Just as a little on a side table, and the smell intoxicating. And then let's see what it looks like in this. Oh, actually, wait a minute. There's that. That's pretty. Okay. And then you can sort of see what that looks like. Isn't that pretty with a little bow on a side table? So I want to think about that. Meantime, I might just do this. What do you think of that? I love that. I think I will leave it like that. Here is the potpourri that we made. I put it in this, and I'm sorry about the lighting here. I'm in a corner, so it's not great. And I have the lamp on, which I'm not sure helps or hurts. And there's a lawnmower in the background. Sorry about all that. Anyway, here's the potpourri in this adorable silver-plated compote. And inside is the brown transferware plate, dish. Anyway, I put the cinnamon sticks, the apples, and you know, if you don't have a dehydrator, you can certainly make these in the oven. There's lots of recipes online for that. And then just get a pretty scented spray or oil, and it's wonderful. All natural and so easy, and just looks so pretty in here. A couple mini pine cones would be pretty. I've even thought about going into my garden and seeing what's in there that I can put in, like maybe some rosemary. I'm not sure. But for now, I'm loving it like this. I may also add that bow, but I don't know. I kind of like it simple like this. Then of course I have my coasters over here, which kind of goes off the silver. I mix metals all the time, and I think it looks great. So I think this is a pretty addition to this little corner. So here's what it looks like with my seasonal fruit all shined up. Look at those gorgeous Macs. And you know what's funny? I noticed my son and husband picked these particular ones. And my son is a 23-year-old adult with autism. And he loves to pick apples. He's a big guy, so he's great for getting some of the higher up ones. But I don't know if it was the stem. I'm not sure, but none of these, with the exception of this tiny little one, have any stems. So I don't know if he like picked them, but I had trouble finding out which end was which. Like here's the bottom and here's the top. It's like none of these have stems or leaves. I thought it was so funny. So I don't know if that's just a quirky little thing that he didn't like the stems or what, but it just made me laugh when I was putting those in there. He sure had a lot of fun picking apples. So I like the way this looks, real fruit and in season already, and I can keep, I've got a few left, so I can swap them out as I eat them. I find, like I'm sure most of you do, if fruit is out, it will get eaten. So there's some fruit, and I'm not sure I showed this, but I did replace, I had a mirror here, and I did replace it with this painting that was in our hallway, and I know I've talked about this before, but this is a painting done by my husband's former math teacher or history teacher. Well, let's look, because he signed it. Fred Swan is his name. And to me, those look like algebra problems. I think he was his math teacher. So anyway, this was a piece that my husband has had for many, many years. And I thought it looked nice here. So anyway, I don't think I had shown you that. But here are the fresh apples on display. We have had the most beautiful summer and early fall here. So I just cannot believe how warm it is out right now. It's gorgeous. So everything is still blooming, and I wanted to go ahead and show you what I've done with my urns. Oh, pears everywhere. They just keep falling. Clean up every day. But let's go ahead and look at this urn, and I'll show you what I did. So in the center, I planted this beautiful grass. I cannot think of the name of it, but it is so pretty. I love this brownish red color in here. I got all of these at a local nursery. And then I put a couple of daisies on either side. Hopefully I don't trip on pears here. So the grass is in the center. I have 2 daisy plants on either side. I wanted rudbeckia, but I couldn't find 2. I needed actually 4 because I have 2 urns. So these daisies are doing great, and they're just sort of shoved in there. And then here is kale right here, which has grown tremendously. And then if I go around to the back, try not to get hit by pears, here is a cabbage. So it has 360-degree interest, which is what I wanted. So again, I'll back away without trying not to trip on a pear. So there it is. Isn't that beautiful? All right. Look at my tomato plants. Still, I've got a lot of cleanup out here to do. I'm going to trim up that mint there. There's the bucket I used to pick pears. All kinds of things. And I'm actually still getting strawberries, which is fun. This urn is in the sun, and so it's actually not doing quite as well, and probably not as easy to see. But here is the cabbage. They are mirror images of each other. Here is the grass. I'm going to go around to the other side. There's the daisies, the kale, there's the grasses. So pretty. Gonna sweep out here, I guess. But I just think that is such a gorgeous fall look. I cannot get over how much the kale has grown. It's huge, this ornamental kale. Now, unfortunately, none of these are perennial, so they are just annual interest. Even the grasses are annual, but just beautiful. And here's a last look at my beautiful early fall urn over here and over there under the pear tree. And now I need to go pick pears. All right, everyone, I need to get picking pears. I cannot put this task off any longer. They are dropping as we speak. So I'm gonna go get my bucket and pick pears, but I wanted to sign off and thank you so much for spending some time with me. I know today was a little of this and a little of that, and I hope you enjoyed that. We dried some apples, we made some potpourri, we made some delicious dried apples to snack on, gave you a tour of my fall urns, and some the good, the bad, and the ugly of what's going on in my garden. So let me get to my pears. I want to thank you again for spending time with me. If you haven't done so already, go ahead and subscribe to our channel. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. I cannot tell you how much that helps us out, helps the channel out, helps the algorithm, helps YouTube to push us to people who might enjoy this content. Feel free to share this video with anybody who you think might enjoy it. And I cannot wait to see you in the next video. Until then, take care and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye now.